All right, how you doing today? So today's the 18th of August. Hope everybody's had a good day today. And I kind of fell behind on my content out in Vegas. Well, it is what it is. Get to where things are becoming typical. All right, the new norm. All right, so I'm back home in Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia. I thought I'd do this when I came back. This video about the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel expansion project. I'm sorry. I did a video like this before, but I didn't do it specifically for the expansion project. Okay. Just a little brief info about this bridge tunnel. It goes across, it's Interstate 64, that is, through the Hampton Roads Channel, and it continues through Norfolk and Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, and then it ends in Suffolk. All right, where it's going to loop back around to the same road off 664. You can see it on the map. All right, it's just one loop. They call it the Hampton Roads Beltway or loop. All right, so not to get too complicated, okay, but one span of this was built in 1957, and then another span, I believe it was the westbound span, that was built in 1973. All right, according to history, where they had to build a series of bridge and the tunnel. All right, and it took time. So now, with the traffic, the growing traffic out here in this area, north of Virginia Beach, a lot of people going to Virginia Beach, that is, these days, they decided to do an expansion project, which they've talked about for at least 30 years. All right, at least that long. All right, I think that part of it should have been done back then. All right, so there wouldn't be enough, as much to do now. All right, so completion started on it, and it's going to be completed more than likely the end of 2025. So you're still looking at like 3 years. It's supposed to be 2 new bridges and 2 new tunnels. All right, so when it's all said and done, it'll be 4 bridges and 4 tunnels. More than likely, it will be tolled. So, hey, when you're out this area around that time, you might want to bring yourself a toll box. So I'm going to stop this video. We're going to go across it, and I'll speak more on that later. All right? So let's do this. Right, so this is where the project actually starts. We just passed Mallory Street, okay? This is in Hampton. And in this area is a very historic area here with Fort Monroe. I did a video on that, so check that out. And they had a VA hospital here on the right side here, okay? So you could tell, like looking on the right side, where the projects, as far as the bridges start, all right, on the right, okay, where they've been building on these bridges for quite some time now, again, like 2 years. And see, they got to pretty much assemble this trussel by trussel, piece by piece, okay? You see how they got the trussels already built. Now they have to do actually, like the beams that go across, the concrete beams, those things take time, okay? And they have to actually, to place the tunnels, they have to build like a bed, a tunnel bed, to place those tunnels down in the like in a bed that they make. All right, then they build the bottom, the tunnels part inside once they get the framework. All right, and they put the tunnel in there. They drain the water out, and then they put the insides. All right, so it's going to look like this one that we're going inside of, but it's going to be more modernized. Okay, so that's part of it right there. So just imagine the 2, like I said earlier, the 2 tunnels that already exist, okay, plus it'll be 2 more tunnels. But I'm pretty sure they'll be nicer. Now, what I think they're going to do is, once they get those tunnels completed, more than likely they're going to refurbish the two old tunnels. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just say that's going to be another year or two working on, these tunnels. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be like $5 to $10 to go across the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. $5 to $10 toll. That'll be interesting once that time come about. You know a little bit about this area here, all right? I don't know what type of engine that car has in it, but it's very, very annoying. But a little bit about this area here, like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Hampton. It's not a very high-profile area, but it has all four branches of military here, particularly the Navy. The Norfolk Naval Base is the largest naval base in the world, okay? I understand it has a little over 100,000, okay, and 12 carriers. Every carrier, from what I understand, serves around 5,000 to 7,000 sailors. Okay, now look to the right here, all right? That these are more trestles to the left. This is another bridge that they're going to build, okay? But they haven't finished the trestles. So these will be this lane, and then the other lanes, those will be two lanes. They'll have a lane right here. More than likely, that's going to be like we're going east, okay? And the one here is going to, back there, I think it's supposed to be a bridge that's going to go over this bridge here, okay? And it's going to end up on the right side, all right? So, they have a simulation that they could do it. I believe it's like Hampton Roads, or it's like Virginia Department of Transportation. So you can find that right on YouTube, and you can see a simulation on what it would look like when it's completed. All right. So along with that, the two new bridges and the two new tunnels that they're going to build 4 new lanes as well. Okay. So you'll have like an 8-lane highway here, which again, they should have done this a long time ago, or at least half of it. So more than likely, they're going to clear this, the median here. And more than likely on this side, apparently, you see them clearing land just to the right of this shoulder. So they're going to build some lanes here too, okay? This is like a little over 5 miles in total, okay? This bridge here goes over Willoughby Spit. Going west, I don't know why there's so much traffic this morning. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. But nevertheless, look, it's going to go across the Willoughby Spit here. And then, you'll be back on land, and the project ends on I-64. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save a little bit of time here, and we'll fast forward it here in a few minutes, okay? Once we get across this bridge here. So and real quick, Willoughby Spit, I remember when I was a kid, it had Ocean View Park, a lot of different, cottage style beach houses and yachts and that type of stuff, all right? It's really nice. Okay, so you could see remnants of construction about to be taking place. Again, I'm gonna stop it and we'll fast forward a little later here. Okay. All right, I fast forward just a little bit, not much. Now this is Mason Creek right here. Okay. This is part of the Navy base actually. More than likely, there's some civilian warehouses and that type of stuff. You know, my dad worked over there at the Navy base for a few years. I think he was over there for like 10 years, something like that. Okay. So these are like a series of creeks in Norfolk. Once you go inside the city on I-64, and again, you can tell remnants of construction. All right. Again, where they have to build two new lanes, two new lanes going to the east, and two new lanes going to the west. All right. Now, again, this project ends at 564. Okay. You know, just recently, 2020, they told these roads here in Norfolk with COVID closure. It was supposed to have been like an experiment because, well, we didn't have tolls, but I do know in like Baltimore, I did a video about the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel. You do pay a toll to go across there, but the toll workers wasn't working. So that's when they, brought the Easy Pass in place. Now it's down in Virginia now. It's in Northern Virginia, and now it's down here in Norfolk. But for a long time, they didn't do any tolls at all. But they told the downtown tunnel. They do these 64. They have HOV lanes on 64 like they do in DC. Okay, you can see the toll, the Easy Pass here. We just passed now. I mean, we passed by just now. All right, so this is the interchange of 564 and 64. All right, that goes to the naval base, and that'll be a video that I'll do on another, visit that I'll do here. Okay, so we'll get off here at Tidewater Drive, and then we'll come back. But we'll do just the part where we go across the water. All right. All right, prior to me getting back on, see the old interstate was Highway 60. And I think I displayed that before on a previous video I did about the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel off to the right. Okay. It's basically parallel to this road. Okay. I think it's like Willoughby Street. And it just goes alongside of 64. And you could tell where it comes to join the highway a little bit further down. All right. So sometimes when when it comes to like U.S. highways and interstates highways, okay, you could tell by when it's off in the country. All right, it's one road, and then when it goes into a city, it splits up into two different roads. And when you go back out, some of those U.S. highways they join the interstate highway on the same road. Okay, so the roads were upgraded. I think starting in the 50s with the interstate system, like 1955, Dwight D. Eisenhower signed that act. You know why? Because when he was a lieutenant, like right after the First World War, when they had to get supplies to the Pacific, and when they went across the U.S., the roads like in Kansas. All right, I'm going to answer that later, okay? Yeah, but back to what I was saying. When he was going across those roads through like the West, the Rockies, all right, his convoy was getting stuck in mud and all that, all right? So that was the reason why he had concocted an interstate system. So we back on the tunnel, we're going west, okay? And then you'll see what I'm talking about here. I'm only going to do part of the project till we get to the tunnel, and then it comes back, and when we come out of the tunnel, you've already seen the part that they were working on, okay? The 4 lanes that they were working on. All right. It's a very unique project. All right. Massive project, that is. Okay. So here's a lot of housing and stuff like that they have around this area. All right, like right off the water. And what they have to do is they have to build the housing on stilts. All right. Now you see where the 4 lanes start, okay? Just off to the left. All right, there's a little bit of traffic going west. I guess people are trying to maybe leave early to go, I don't know, points west like Richmond or DC. A lot of people, they like to come up from up north to go to Virginia Beach. And this is what it's all about, all right? Because the tourism to Virginia Beach from places like DC or like Baltimore, New York, has really, really increased. Plus the growing population in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is the largest city in the state of Virginia. I think it's got something like 470,000 people. All right. This is a total area of, I think, like 2 million people, something like that. Hampton, Norfolk, they call it the 7. All right. So those are the trestles of those 4 new lanes. All right. And again, the way that they do this is they have a tunnel that they're going to build in the middle of the 2 old lanes, and then a tunnel that they're going to build to the far left. So there's again a bridge that has to go over to this tunnel, the new tunnel they're going to do in the middle. All right. I hope that makes sense. It kind of doesn't make sense, but I guess, hey, there's a method to the madness. Okay. Now, they built these tunnels so these large carriers and there's other cargo ships that could go underneath, without them having to the transportation department having to try to build a bridge to open it back, to open it up, okay, for the ships to go through, and then it holds up a lot of the traffic, okay? So the tunnels, I haven't seen anything like this anywhere else. I mean, they do have tunnels like we have the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, but I believe this is one of the first places that they've done, these type of tunnels. A lot of friends that I know or people that's been in my area says, that they mentioned that they haven't seen anything like this. So here's where this middle lane that they're building, you see? And then it's going to dip down into a tunnel that we're getting ready to go into now. All right. You seen the other tunnel, and we're going west into the old tunnel. It'd be nice to see. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the new tunnel there. You see where it dips into there? Okay. Yeah, so the 2 new tunnels, they're going to be where the 2 old ones, those are like the islands. These are what they call islands. So they had to build a man-made island out of rock. And then what they do is they put the road on top of the rock, and that's where it dips into the tunnel, and the tunnel is into the roadbed. Now, we had a standstill here. Just a little quick note, okay? Fort Monroe is further down, but this is a defunct fort called Fort Wool, okay? Fort Wool, this is it was an observatory for the Revolutionary War and also the Civil War. All right. And I think that they do tours here. Okay. But just imagine had to get stationed there. All right. I think that's probably a detail for Fort Monroe. All right. So we're going to dip into the tunnel. We're going to end it there. Hey, I thank you for your time. All right. There's nothing more to see. All right. Except when you come out, you've already seen the 4 new lanes. All right. And stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to do a video about Hampton University. Until next time.